I want to.
Introduce it, bitch.
Oh, did we start?
Yeah, we started. Welcome back to No Hesitation. This is it's gonna be episode 2 because we had one recorded for episode 3. It was a Michael Jordan versus LeBron debate, but we felt like it'd be better to discuss currently what's going on in the U.S. before we put that out there because we feel like it's important. So I'm DJ Murrell.
I'm Rob.
I'm Dan Schlakman.
Your boy, Angry Glow in the flesh.
Every time, bro. Every time. So first off, I just want to ask how everyone's doing. What are their thoughts on everything that's going on right now? You know, first reactions, I guess.
So initial reaction, probably like any person with a soul. I was obviously taken back by it. Especially being a black man too. I wouldn't say shocking because people getting killed by cops, we see it over and over and over and over again. But this was just so blatant on camera, you know what I'm saying? The cop literally didn't care, you know what I'm saying? So that was for me, that just kind of struck me some type of way because I'm just like, yo, these dudes don't really care. And if they're doing this stuff on camera, what is happening? What is happening when the camera is turned off? You know what I'm saying? Sure.
If there wasn't a camera there, you think what would have happened if there wasn't a camera?
Exactly.
You got off for it.
Yeah.
I had a completely different feeling because so when I first saw the video, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was just like every single other police brutality video that's out there, or the video of the white woman who was yelling at the dude because the black man in Central Park because the black man asked politely for the woman to put her dog on a leash.
Oh, Karen?
Yeah, Karen. So I reacted to that similar to how I reacted to George Floyd's death because there was just a numbness for me in that realm just because I feel like it's so normalized now.
Mm-hmm.
And that police brutality and racism is a thing in our society. And then as the movement, I wouldn't even call it a movement because it's not really movement. It's sensible people realizing that the last resort is to protest violently or peacefully, whatever you want to look at. When attention was really brought to it, I was like, oh fuck, it's different this time. But that's just me. I think that's also because I'm white and privileged, but yeah.
Yeah, for me, my initial reaction when seeing not the video but just hearing about just the death of George Floyd, I was just like, oh, okay,
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a holy fuck.
Yeah, just another one, right? And I haven't watched the video yet. After I heard, but when I did watch the video, a little while after, obviously, it had me upset. Seeing, a black man under a white policeman's knee. Knowing that he's struggling to stay alive, pleading for the police officer to ease off a little bit because
he called for his mom. That shit hurt. Listening to that.
His mom's dead too. It's a big thing.
Yeah, and I could tell my family was also pretty upset, specifically my mom, because she sent me the video herself and she wanted me to know how I felt about it. And, we've continued to have conversations about it. So, it's obviously pretty frustrating in my household. But yeah, it's just, when the protests started coming, it's just, I don't know. it's annoying to see that we're still doing this stuff, you know, like protesting. It's just like another like phase, you know, where people are just posting and protesting and stuff like that.
It's interesting, but like, so something that I learned in all my conversations with my team and people that I'm friendly with, you know how like in recent years, I'm gonna say the last 5 years, where we've seen a real uptick in published police brutality.
Yeah, it's being filmed more.
Right. You know how MLK, like after he was assassinated, it took, I forget whether or not it was 5 years or 5 months of violent protesting for the government to finally do something about it. It was it was either months or years until
it was months.
Law was passed.
Civil rights act was passed in 1968, or the second one was, and that's the year he died. A couple months.
But so it was 5 months then. So it was 5 months after, which I found ridiculous. The fact that it took so long.
The thing for me too is like, what's messed up. Like, think of Ahmaud Arbery's family now. Like, that should happen like a week apart. You know what I'm saying? Like a week and a half apart. So like everybody's all like messed up from that, and like all our attention's on that, and then right away, you know, the switch flips, and now we're all talking about George Floyd. Let alone, you know what I'm saying? It's just like we just move on so quickly. You know what I'm saying?
It felt like it was back to back to back, because you had the video of Ahmaud posted.
Yeah.
Then you had the story about Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor, then you had Breonna Taylor, that happened like a while ago, but like before it came up again after Ahmaud.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You had the lady with the dog, and then you have this. And it's like more the pain is building up, and you're just becoming more numb every time.
That's where I was at. I like, my immediate reaction was like Rob's, where it was just like, oh fuck. Like,
I was on FaceTime. Dan called me, like he woke me up like at like 11 or something. He was like just checking in, and then like I was on Twitter when I was talking to you, and I was like, I remember I was like, oh fuck, and he goes, what? And I was like, I literally said like a black man was killed by a police officer, because I saw Seb posted it, because he lives out in Minnesota, and he was a block down from what happened, and it's just like, in my immediate thought was just like, again, like this shit's happening again. And then when I heard him speak, when I watched the video, I heard him say, I can't breathe, the immediate thought is Eric Garner too. Think of Eric Garner in New York, and it's like, that was 6 years ago, you know?
It was 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Eric Garner was choked out.
Whoa.
By an illegal chokehold.
The thing that, and also like what struck me. So when that first came out, the video first came out, I didn't really know all like the factors to the case at first, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then like later on that day, I'm at my friend's house who's white, and I'm with like, you know, a majority of like a white crowd. And someone happened to bring it up, and like I was still like, I still don't really know how to feel about it, but you know, obviously like I'm angry and whatnot. And like the thing that was messed up was like someone brought it up, and then somebody immediately was just like, well, we don't know what that guy did.
I was like, that's not.
And I'm like, bro, that's not the point, bro.
No justification.
Yeah, for that, like, bro, you have people who shoot up schools, who do all these like crazy things, bro. And you take Burger King, but a dude tries to pass a $20 bill as counterfeit.
That wasn't even counterfeited.
Yeah, and he loses his life. So that's what a black man's life is worth. $20.
Bro, the two craziest, not craziest, I'm hyping that up. Two of the most shocking things for me was seeing there's like some sort of edit where it's like the two school shooters, where it's like killed 32 people and 12 people or 17 people, and how they were cuffed and walked out.
Yeah,
Dylan Roof.
In comparison to, I forget who the other one was. One of the two.
It was.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've seen that.
Poison, honestly.
Right. That was like a what the fuck to me. And then the second thing is the cop that killed George Floyd, his wife was a arrested for the same deal. She was caught with a counterfeit $20 bill, and then divorces him the day after.
Yeah, it's. But back to no, when you talk about when you said you were like with a bunch of white people and that happened. As this is like progressing on, like the protests and stuff, I found myself not wanting to hang out with like my white friends.
Yeah.
And it's not anything personal. It was just they were living in a world where like they didn't really have to like, worry about this.
They understand.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people that were just like, oh, what do you want to do? Want to go hang out? Want to do this? I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you see what's happening right now. Like, and I feel like the shift was when that kind of shifted was like not till when the Blackout Tuesday. That's when I started getting texts from like white people saying, like my white friends going like, yo, I want to check in how you're doing. Like, I understand, like I'll never understand, but like, wonder how you doing? How can I help? Da da da. And I was like, it took them like a week to get to that point. But like in the beginning, I was like, I don't want to fucking hang out with nobody. I can't just take my mind off of this. I don't have the privilege of doing that because I'm a black man, and that was tough, because those couple of days were just like tough because you're just sitting at home. I'm just on Twitter, refreshing the feed, trying to see what's going on. But now I want to get into like the protests. There was a lot of people had a problem with the way we were protesting and how we were getting out our anger and frustration with, again, another unarmed black man being killed. I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. Like, how did you feel about people trying to take away from what happened and talk about the looting in the protest?
Bro, so that was one of the things that pissed me off the most, because not because of the looting, so I've been educated by the black kids on my teams, like how looting is descended from like white people, in that they looted African Americans from their home, destroyed their villages, destroyed their homes, and looted them as property and brought them to America in whenever the fuck that was happening. And so I don't have an issue really with like the violence and the looting and all that and all the riots. I do have the biggest issue with the white nationalists who are disguising themselves as black men to try and portray the looting and riots as worse than they are. The anarchists who just like destruction, the opportunists who just decide that they want to steal from weed stores or from Target or from like Icebox, so like whatever it is to advance their own personal gain. And then the dumbass teenagers and like the Jake Pauls of the world who want to do it because they think it's fun. Like that's what pisses me off the most.
The anger was, I understand that. Like the ones that are like, they're not part of the movement, that are there to protest. They're just there to, and like get their fantasy of this anarchy like society. But like,
but so with those anarchists, like they're doing that because the media is portraying the looting as negative.
And that plays into it though too, because like why, like yeah, this happens. There's always been people that opportunists when rioting or like protests happen, they take advantage of it. But it's up to us to choose what you want to focus on. Like the media,
right? Yeah,
it's happening, but it's your choice to focus on the looting. You don't have to.
Right, but the thing that I'm focusing on is the fact that it's like people who are trying to make the situation worse when it's not, but they're trying to bring the movement down. If that like add some sort of negative element to a movement, to the protests that are trying to better society and make it a society rather than a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm going to just say like a fucked up way of living. There's a type of government, whatever. Yeah.
But we see, let me ask you a question. Who runs the mainstream media that you see on TV every day?
White people.
You see the white people and the masses of higher class, right?
Yeah.
And they first of all, the riots and when they first originally happened, that shit worked. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of damage and everything, but that's what the point is. We wanted national attention. We wanted to bring national attention to that. And the only way, and I feel like sometimes the only way which is the sad truth, the only way for Black people and African American for Black people to
You heard
get
it?
national media and to be heard is having some sort of negative connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? Within the media, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't broadcast all the peaceful protests that were happening originally. We want to automatically go to the looting, and we don't want to focus on, you know what I'm saying, the actual protesters and what they're protesting for. We want to focus on
the damage that's being done.
And
Well, that's the culture of news anyways, right?
Yeah, and that's what's so dangerous about news, because we only know about what's being reported.
That's why social media, I feel like, is kind of a big part in this, because if you look at Twitter, it's very different from what like CNN, Fox News, all these other news organizations are talking about. They're like, hey, like, you can choose to focus on this, but who cares? Lots of material things. When are we holding material things over people's lives? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we got to that point. And I love the hypocrisy in the people that are like, hey, peaceful protests, having peaceful protests, you're being violent, it's got to be peaceful. But when we were peaceful, you had a problem with that with Kaepernick. We can't kneel during a flag. No, that doesn't work. No, you can't be that peaceful. So it gets to a point where what does work?
Yeah.
What works is nothing. And for those people that care so much about whether or not it's violent or peaceful, they want nothing. They want society to continue to be the way that they are because they're in positions of power.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day, and they were saying white people brought us to America for the sole purpose of what? Being slaves.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to work for
their agendas. Yeah.
So they're automatically already put at that pedestal. They already have that privilege. They're already above us in society. So it's hard for them to see us as equal, because society for so long has told them we're less than. So when we fight back, you know what I'm saying, they think because 60 years ago we couldn't drink at the same water fountain, they think like that progress is enough. You know what I'm saying? They think because we can sit in the same restaurant that progress is enough, when it's not. Like, equality for their definition of equality and our definition of equality are two completely different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's like, when I was watching the protests and like the violence of it, I know everyone's like, I mean, I'm never saying I'm gonna condone looting and destruction of property. At the same time, like, I don't care about that.
You understand it. I think it's more like you understand, you don't have an issue with it.
Yeah,
you know the message behind it.
Yeah, it's anger, it's frustration of the fact that we're still fighting something that we've been fighting for so long, and we're tired of it. And like, I was watching buildings burn, and part of me is like, you know, fuck that, burn that shit down.
Yeah, we built them,
bro. And for the people that have an issue with it, the only reason they have an issue with the whole the whole looting, the violence, is because now it's affecting them.
It's not even affecting them. I think they're just choosing to ignore what's happening to bring up the looting, to try to. It's the same thing they did with Cap when they told them it was about the flag, when it had nothing to do with the flag. They're just trying to shift the narrative of what we want everyone to focus on. And also, this, I think, if you're not out there protesting, fuck your opinion about how it should be done.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
If you're not out there protesting, I don't give a fuck what you think about how it should be done. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's that, and like watching the police station burn down, like that shit was crazy to the first point.
Do you know who set it on fire?
No, I don't know who set it on fire.
There's a picture of a white cop putting a Molotov in the fucking window.
I know they were told to retreat.
Oh, did you see that one video with the whole group of cops outside I think it was a jewelry store or something? They were just smashing the windows just because. Yeah, just because. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to just spin the media and make us look like animals.
Just like anarchists and opportunists and all that.
Yeah, let's get into that right there, like how the cops are dealing with the people who are protesting police brutality with more police brutality.
I feel like, okay, also, I think it's fucking ridiculous. I think it's so dumb. But also, it's very much like there's like a not double narrative. There's two sides here, because like the police officers that are then joining the peaceful protests and kneeling with people or with the protesters and expressing that they also don't believe in what's going on as a thing, they're getting shit on a ton.
No. The kneeling and like walking arms of protesters, it's just propaganda for them. At the end of the day, like if you look at a lot of these situations where the officers are kneeling, 10 minutes later they're tear gassing them.
No, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like I'm sure there are some cops somewhere that, as people, don't believe in this.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, no,
they're proponents to it.
Yeah,
No.
like your pops, your pops in that situation.
Right, exactly.
He didn't want to go in to help them in Boston when it was happening, like voluntarily, because like he doesn't want to help them stop peaceful protesters that are protesting what he believes in as well.
But his thing is, if he's doing his job, hold up. What I was saying was like the people that the police that are joining the protests, I feel like this might just be me because I'm white and not affected by the situation as much or as directly, but they're getting shit on for trying to be good people because they are good people, the ones that are. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like those that are trying to.
But all right, all right, I understand what you're saying, but
what are people saying though? Like you're saying that they're being shit on for.
Yeah. So they're basically like they're saying what DJ's saying. It's like they're just doing it to do it.
But what does kneeling do? What is that? What does you kneeling with me do if you're just gonna go back to that front line?
Okay.
And enforce a curfew. You know what I mean?
But what if they're not? What if they actually are trying to benefit the community?
But their job is, no matter the end of the day, their orders are to hold that line. Yeah, say they kneel with them, but then they immediately go back to that line. And what does that do? If they really want to, if they really want to help and say they're with the protesters, they will call out the bad cops in their precinct. They would bring reports to their officers.
There was a video of I think it was in Boston of a white man throwing a black protester onto the ground.
Oh wait, yeah. I don't know if that was Boston, but I know what video you're talking about.
I think it was in Boston. It looked like it was at the TD Garden.
White girl that were sitting next to each other. Is that what you're talking about?
The black woman that threw that. So she was, the white guy was, a bunch of people yelling at him. He turned around, threw this black lady down. So then the black police officer woman started cussing him out and like pushing him away. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And then one of the other white cops joined in with her, and the dude that pushed the black lady down left.
Yeah, and no, I'm saying you're right, there are cops out there like that. But again, the kneeling and photo ops, all it does is help them seem like they're not all bad. Like, I mean saying they're not all bad, but it helps them not be held accountable for what's going on.
Right.
Are you a believer in ACAB? Like, I just found out like what that is.
I don't know what it is.
Cops are bad or bastards, something like that.
Yeah, like all cops are bastards. Like, after it was explained to me, I understand it more. Basically saying that like the system that cops are in, like when you sign up for it, was built on racism and represents racism. But I can't say all cops are bad because, obviously I know good cops. Like, not all cops, our cops are bad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because I agree. Like, it makes sense. Like, the all cops are bastard things make sense. But another thing that this might just be me, and you guys can shit on me or not, is like being a cop is an occupation, right? Like, if I was telling DJ this, I think in that same as FaceTime here or there, I don't know, but it's like there are bad cops, there are racist cops, and they're bad and racist cops. There are cops that are just bad at their job, like should not be cops, just fucking awful at their job. Yeah. There are racist cops that may very well be great cops, but that's also just in the hypothetical circumstance where they're in an all-white community and don't have to interact with people of color, but they do the job of a cop very well. Yep. And remember, those bad cops who are bad at their job might be very good people and have good morals and don't believe in racism and feel as though that like they condemn racism, right? And then they're just bad and racist cops like George Floyd's killer was like, you're racist, you don't know the right protocols to follow when you're a cop, and the mix of those two, just like you're a bad person.
Yeah. But
what produces those cops is the little amount of training that they receive. Like,
right,
8 weeks of training it takes.
No training, or not no training, but there's very little amounts of training.
This is hilarious. I watched a TikTok where it's like it takes more training. Listen, no, but listen.
I saw that. I know
it takes more training to cut hair.
Yeah.
Than it to become a cop.
It's like
more training to realize how to use clippers than to hold a gun.
Yeah. But it's not even just like bad racist cops too. The bad cops are a big problem because they abuse their power, even with just, situations like you're looking at these protesters where they're throwing an old man down.
Bro, I feel like I see a lot of those though. Like every video I see, I have not seen one cop that like gently like moves them over, or like I just see every cop like pushing people.
Forcing it, yes.
Bro, with whacking a biker who was just biking, being on a woman, bro. The 4 cops took down a woman for no reason.
I have a genuine question, and I don't know the answer. So how? Because I don't think that the protesters will be easily like picked up, gently put down to the side of them. I'm very much aware that there is a ridiculous amount of excessive force used, just like all in all 100%. But I don't think like if a cop's like, please move to the side so we may get through.
But okay, so they're peacefully protesting, which is the First Amendment right of free speech.
No, I know. I'm not saying anything about the protests or anything like that. I'm just saying like
riots.
The riots, but they shouldn't. But the riots have stopped. This is the problem, though. Like the riots,
they have not stopped. No.
They're not like as Minnesota where people are burning buildings down. They're not at that level as much. It's more peaceful protest. There's more peaceful protests than there are riots, right?
Right. Yeah. Fair.
But there still are definitely riots.
There's still definitely riots. Yeah. There was a riot in Brockton like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I'm saying, but the videos that the problems where it comes in hand is the peaceful protesters that are being treated like rioters, where they're not doing like there's videos of them just standing there with their hands up and then they'll pull up pepper spray and spray them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm seeing people that are resisting, and you can see it. Like you can see that they're resisting, and the police are still throwing them all over the place. Like right.
For what reason?
My thing is like there's a huge difference from like being a peaceful protester and literally just standing your ground, not antagonizing in any sense. Not saying that antagonizing a police officer requires force or requires excessive force. But like I don't know, and this is just because I don't know what like cops are supposed to do in circumstances like this. But when you as a cop are trying to get a large group of people to disperse for whatever reason, you asking nicely at the face of the protest, being like, can you please back up 3 steps?
But they shouldn't have to disperse because they're not causing any trouble but peacefully protesting.
I know. I'm not saying that they should or should not. I'm just saying
how would they
given that it seems to be inevitable that peaceful protesters are asked to disperse all the time because fuck whatever right it is, because the government is stupid. But like,
you're asking how would they disperse these crowds without other methods?
Right, because like Rob was saying, like it's hard or Rob didn't necessarily say this, but like Rob was like, there's no gentle way of moving someone that doesn't want to be moved.
I don't think these people would resist to the point where you'd have to tackle them and force them on the ground with 10 cops on top of them.
Bro, no, I'm saying there's a ridiculous amount of excessive force, which is why I'm asking. I don't know where the middle ground is.
I understand what you're saying.
That's what you're saying. But for one, the way they're doing it is wrong. For one, tear gas is banned.
Excessive force, right? It's excessive.
No, but it's not even that. It was banned by Geneva Convention. You can't use it in war. It's a war crime using tear gas. So why is it being allowed to use? No, I'm dead at. I'm dead at. You can look it up, bro. It's a war crime if you use tear gas in the war. It's banned in warfare. You can't use it overseas. But it's allowed to be used on U.S. people.
I think there needs to be better training of police officers
Of
to
course.
be able to deal with that situation. Like rubber bullets, bro. They might be rubber, but it's still coming out of a gun.
They're
Yeah,
metal.
no.
They're metal
It's-
wrapped
it's
in
a-
rubber. They're metal
Yeah,
wrapped
the
in rubber.
bullet wrapped in rubber.
Yeah.
And they've been cracking people's skulls open. A guy lost his sight in his eye. Even at a woman I saw a story today. A woman died today because she was at a protest and they threw tear gas and she had asthma and she died at the hospital because of the tear gas. And I saw a comment saying like, "Well, she shouldn't have been there. She had asthma." I was like, "Well, they shouldn't be using tear gas on peaceful protesters."
Yeah. But I have another, and back to my point of there needs to be better training. So I found out today, it just came out today, that the 3 police officers that were were bystanders and let that happen.
Mhm.
That was their second and third days on the job.
Yeah, they were.
Seriously?
So they were in training. So now I'm stuck in the middle because I'm just like, one, I'm on this side, like human nature should have taken over and be like, okay, I don't care about the protocol. This isn't right. Like he's killing this man. But then you think about on the police side, you're a rookie, you're just on the force. This dude is the dude who's killing George Floyd, he's supposed to be your mentor.
And
He's supposed to be your mentor. And he's doing this. So
that's the problem.
I'm saying,
That's the problem with, again, that's one of the biggest problems with police, is the fact that he's not allowed to have his human nature take over to help that man. He's trained like, nah, I follow him, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that that's even a question too is it's bad. You shouldn't have to contemplate that. You should see that this man is choking and dying. I gotta step in. And it's the same thing with the video of yesterday went viral of the old man being thrown on the ground, smacking his head. If you watch, the guy that pushes him sees him smack his head, sees him bleeding. The immediate cop that pushes him goes, "Oh, I gotta help him." Bends down to go check on him.
the dude picks him up
And says, "No, get out of here." And that's a problem right there. The fact that he won't let his human nature take control. Like, hey, you should probably help this man out. They're not trained like that, and it's top to bottom, and that's also a big problem. So I'm gonna use. We can get into we're about to get into police reform and stuff because the time's about to run out. We're gonna start the next session, so we're gonna take a short break and get back to it. Stop record. All right, so we back.
For a brief intermission.
So we left off talking about kind of how the police tactics are in these protests. So I want to get into I don't know, steps to move forward, police reform. Are you guys in favor of more reforming how police are structured, or are you part of the whole abolish police movement? Because there's two sides of this right now.
We need police. That's just, that's
Abolishing police is so forever in every single community ever across the world ever. There has been some sort of police.
Yeah.
Or sheriff or something. I think if you could just funnel a ridiculous amount of money into police training, or just kill everyone that's racist.
I don't even think the police need more. Whoa! First of all, I don't think
those are the only 2 ways to fix it.
I don't think the police need more money. I don't think that's for training wise. You know how much their budget is? It's $400 million for the city of Boston.
Not that much
Compared to public school and other, it's $400 million,
bro.
That's through the roof.
We literally, Elon Musk just sent a rocket into orbit that was probably 10 times that expensive, with a mouse on it.
Look, I just don't think the funding, New York NYPD's police funding is $1 billion.
You just said it was 400 million.
No, Boston's 400 million.
Oh.
So I think defund the police is definitely a way to look into an option to move forward with.
But if you defund the police, I feel like people will stop doing, good cops will be less inspired to
do
their job well.
Do you think if we pay cops more, then they'll be more inspired to ride out bad cops? Because that could be
personally, I feel like, so I was talking to a friend of mine who served in the military, I think it was, or the Navy or something like that. And he was saying every year they have to have a physical and they have to pass physical tests. I feel like, I know that's not the same as like race training, but like I feel like, one, you can't just have like the fat white cops who just sit on their ass and eat donuts to be the stereotypical cop and can't do their job properly. And then two, you can't have the racist cops. So you need to be both physically fit and
But I think you also have to look at like how they go about their jobs. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like over policing of neighborhoods.
but sometimes that's, do you agree or disagree that there are definitely some places in the country where a higher police presence is required?
No, because the problem with that is, so poorer communities, there's going to be more crime in poorer communities because they need more revenue. It's a way to find revenue because there's not other economic opportunities in that neighborhood because of the systematic repression and like redlining. You know what I mean? There's a lot that goes into that. So then the poor communities, where there's more crime, you're going to put more police in there. So then they're going to keep arresting more people, and it's going to continue. It's going to cause a cycle that never allows that poor community to get out of poverty. And a lot of the times, the poor communities are Black people.
So then do you say just allow crime to happen until shit figures it out?
No, reinvest money into the communities to build them up. Get more education, more job opportunities instead of
community centers and shit.
Yeah, instead of funding these police to keep the community down. You know what I mean? Like Chance the Rapper donated $1 million to Chicago Public Schools for after-school programs because after-school programs are losing funded. You know what I mean? And that's also a big avenue you have to look into as well.
But that's also, I feel like, corrupt too, because you can donate $1 million for that, but like, how do we know that's actually like going towards that?
You'd have to really. Well, that goes into like elected officials as well, like voting. You know what I mean? Make sure to vote. How to
everyone out there watching this, vote.
My problem with the voting thing, when people were first saying like, well, one option is voting, I was like, yeah, voting's big, but it's hard to vote for candidates that have time and time again have said these things are going to do it for the Black community, and then they get in office, they get in these positions of power, and then they don't, again, like they don't fulfill those promises. It's just to get elected, just to get to where they're at. And if we don't have like good politicians to vote for, then how are we gonna, really look at this, like go about it, go vote?
I think Joe Biden's ass, but I think we got to get him in the office.
Anything better than Trump.
Get Peach Boy out 4 years, and then we regroup.
I say Trump. Trump is built like a rotisserie chicken.
See with the little ass
heads, bro, and like the weirdly shaped like midsection. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like he's shaped like, bro. That's what he built like.
See the way he stands too.
Yeah, bro. He be looking lost sometimes. He be looking like he don't know where he at. He'll be standing there and be like, "Oh shit, I gotta go here." Also, like, I want to get into how, like, can allies help? How do we think allies?
Yeah. So my Amherst college basketball team, we had a team Zoom meeting, in which we talked about. We basically just kind of talked about what was going on, and I brought up a question because my personal opinion, this is going to be a long tangent, but my personal opinion is human is human. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. Like that, racism is the most ridiculous thing in my mind. And so I obviously am, and I don't want to say down for the cause because I feel like it's kind of, it's taking.
I know what you mean.
Right. Like it's glorifying the whole situation.
Right.
Like, in my mind, racism isn't a thing. And race isn't a thing. Racism is a thing. But I just see everyone as like the person that they are. And if they're Black or white, like I'll like them the same. It's about like the personality. So I asked.
Don't fall into that like trap though of like, I don't see like I'm not saying you said this, but like, I don't see color type shit, because you still want to see people's.
Right. I see people for who they are as a person.
Yeah, like they're
And
okay.
Person
whether or not
first.
they are black, white, whatever, it does not matter to me at all. And so as an ally, I was like, all right, so I posted a story on my Instagram, and I hate using social media to like advocate causes, and that's like another whole story that doesn't really need to be touched on, but
We can get into that.
sure. Well, we can do that after, but like, I don't use social media as outlets to convey my opinions on matters. I just don't, for me personally, that's not the way that I go about things. I like going person to person, having conversations. I feel like that's just the best way that I can get across my thoughts. And so I posted something on social media, and someone called me out for saying that it's not enough. Like, because I have the platform as an Amherst basketball player who am friends with black people who has interest in black women, who like whatever the case may be, like, you need to do more. And the person who called me out was like, I will teach you how to do more. I was like, well, thank you. So I said, so my initial reaction to that was saying thank you, and yes, I would love to learn more.
And have they taught you more? Like,
No.
Nice.
And so I like they didn't teach me anything I already didn't know. Because I feel like as a cisgender white male, I am decently learned, educated.
So to that, she didn't teach you, for one. I feel like it's not like I don't want to put like a duty on like black people to have to teach.
Right. So that's another thing that I was gonna. Right. So I asked my team, I was like, so what does someone do when they're called out and doesn't feel like social media is like the platform that they use, to be best used, right? And that's not to say that I don't put stuff out. Like, I've posted a couple things since then on my story of like charities you can, like, there's a link in my Instagram bio, which everyone can go check out. It's like all the charities that you could possibly donate to. All of them, like a full Google Doc list of every single charity, and like an explanation and a description of what they do. And so I was like, I asked the team, so what can I do if I don't like posting on social media? And one of my assistant coaches was like, you can tell that person that you don't feel like social media is the best outlet for you to express your support in the matter, and you can tell them what you have been doing. And I've been reading articles, I've ordered books, I've watched videos, I've listened to podcasts, I've donated to charities, I've educated my parents, like I've educated people that I've talked to, like I've done a lot of things, but I don't feel like I need to tell people that I'm doing that. It's like very internal for me.
You
don't have to tell people you're educating yourself, but that's only like the first step for like allyship is, yes, educating yourself and learning more of what we're talking about. But then the second part is using what you learn and going out and
educate other people.
Educate other people, or
actively applying it every day.
Actively applying every day. Like you don't have to go to protests, but like calling senators, calling
Right, no, exactly. But like, it's things that like people don't need to know that I'm doing, because if I know that I'm doing that, I can rest easy knowing that I'm doing what I can.
I guess why people feel social media is the biggest, like they want you to see there, because it's the easiest way to get out information to a large amount of people. Quickly.
Right. And I was talking to you, DJ, about this on the FaceTime. Was like, I also feel like social media does just as much bad as it does good for causes that are so important to the natural way of life.
Yeah, I had a question. I had a question about social media. Like, to what extent do you think it impacts? Like, how impactful is social media? Do you guys think?
For like, would you say like the Black Lives Matter movement, or just like in general?
For everything.
For
it allows everyone to have their opinion and voice it instantly.
Yeah.
And it allows people to be assholes, allows people to be good people, allows people to paint a picture of whatever people want them to see about you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think people get so upset when like I mean, I got upset about it because people who are active on like people that say like stuff that Dan said, like I don't like to promote like your personal opinion on social media and everything. I get that, 100% get that. But my problem is with people who like are actively posting stuff on their stories and whatnot. You know what I'm saying about other things.
If you're
Yeah, it doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well with me because I'm just like, all right, if you can post that, then why can't you post something?
or
And
take
also
you know what I'm saying?
people that you know damn well are racist that are posting shit to fit in. And my
Yeah.
like when I was further talking to some of my black teammates and I singled one out and I was like, so what do you propose that I do? And he was like, it's very internal here. Like learn as much as you can. That's step one. Step two is educate people and tell people what you have learned so they can go and further educate themselves. And then three, it was like, what was the third thing? I forget.
I would say to your social media thing, to what you're talking about, like what does it do? Like what is the downside and like benefit of it? For something like this too, I feel like like you don't have to post, especially if you're not active on social media at the time, you don't have to post. But there is a benefit of posting because the people you follow, like say I post something, but there's people that follow me that might not follow you, or like that follow you that might not follow me. So they'll see what you're posting and they'll be like, oh, okay, I can do this, and it keeps spreading because then they'll post it. So it's a way to spread awareness faster than just person-to-person communication. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it does play a big part in helping spreading awareness and like raise like empowering a movement more than.
I feel like that's where it stops. Like where like once people know like about the movement and what's happening, I feel like that's where people kind of not everybody, but most people on social media kind of just like just stop really.
They stop caring.
They just stop caring because like after that, like every other post about like Black Lives Matter, or like what you can do about it or something like that. That's just like people just tapping through that.
You have to physically take action after you. Like support Black-owned businesses. Like that's one big thing you can do.
Yeah, that's what I think social media is good for. I feel like it's only good for letting people know what's going on. Not I don't know, for other things, just like educating and stuff like that, because I feel like the people that really need to be educated are just tapping through that. Yeah.
Where'd you get that at? Hold up.
Where'd you get that at, bro?
My mom ordered it. I don't know where she got it from, but she ordered it because I was saying I was trying to wear it in my graduation photo, so I gotta find a way how I'm gonna like
ask your mom. Ask her about it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Is it an extra small?
No, it's a medium.
That's just
Anyone Noah? Anyone out there get exposed for any racist stuff in the past? Because I know right now there's a big movement of exposing high school kids.
Yeah.
Racist.
Nah, but it's just like there's a lot of people that put a lot of my friends. I had verbal altercations with some of them, about being bad allies. You know what I'm saying? People I expect as being like close friends. You know what I'm saying? To be better allies. But that's a different story. But also there's people that were like posting stuff, and I'm like, bro, like you're the same person. Like there's people that like have gotten suspended for like making TikToks and like saying like the N-word in it, or like sending Snapchats and being like quote unquote like I'm trying to get hit with some N-word dick, like you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, like so they're like that like that's my thing. I'm just like, bro, like that's go back to Dan's thing, like social media, like talk is cheap, bro. Like
that's your facts. I mean, you're speaking facts on that because like a lot of like you said, a lot of people like doing the black screen thing. I saw a lot of people post a black screen, but ain't nothing before that and ain't nothing after that. Posted a black screen to just like show, like it's like showing face, like hey, yeah, I'm doing something when I'm really not. You know what I mean? I'm just showing that, and then I'm getting back to doing my norm. And I feel like a lot of people are using that as just like to I don't know, to show that they are doing something, but they're not. I don't.
Yeah, it's to silence the people that are waiting for them to post, right? Because you see, like public figures are, doing their own thing, and those people that are just not really showing that they care, like their fans or whatever are really just are waiting for them to say something, or at least show them that they're aware and with the movement. And so I feel like that black screen is just telling people, or it's a way for public figures to just get out of doing all the other extra work and stuff.
That's kind of part of my point. Like with me, I know I'm different than Kim Kardashian. Like she's super famous.
Yeah, you're not like that.
I'm not like a social media star or anything like that. There's a part of me where it's like you don't need to show people what you're doing. You just need to do it. Maybe it's because like celebrities are on a different pedestal of like people will follow what they do because they're famous. But like I feel like there's a very, very, very big line between like needing to show what you do and showing everybody that you follow that you're doing something, and knowing yourself that you're bettering yourself and those that you come in contact with by educating yourself and learning.
Oh yeah, I fucking hate people that are getting mad at like, oh, this celebrity isn't posting something or saying something. I'm like, why do you care what they have to say about it?
Right. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they donated millions of dollars to different
nothing. Yeah.
Kanye. Okay, people were coming at Kanye like on Twitter, like Kanye hasn't said nothing. Thank God. Da, da, da. I was like, bro, like I mean, whatever he has to say, I don't care. Like I don't care what Kanye thinks about this. And he donated $2 million, set up a college fund for George Floyd's daughter.
And he was marching.
Yeah, like it doesn't, like people said Kendrick too, like why isn't Kendrick spoken? It's like, first of all, Kendrick's whole discography is about shit like this. So you can't even come at him for saying nothing. Also, he's not obligated to have to post anything.
That's what I'm saying. People shouldn't be worrying about what other people are going to say. You should be worrying about what you're going to say. Like, are you saying anything about it? Like, really?
Yeah, like, why do you care if a celebrity has something to say? At the end of the day, they're just a person like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, focus on people. If you want to focus on something, focus on the people around you, making sure that they're aware and that they're actively trying to help and actually trying to, push forward this movement. So like I don't understand the infatuation with like wanting to see these big name celebrities give an opinion about what's going on,
Well, because celebrities are influencers, obviously. And so people are looking towards them to see, where their head's at and stuff. So
I feel like also once you become a celebrity, your personal opinion is kind of like stripped from you.
Yeah.
Like think of a person like Travis Scott or something like that. Like his fans are so varied. Mm-hmm. So like he has black fans and white fans. He has Black Lives Matter supporter fans and non-Black Lives Matter supporter fans. So I mean he obviously did make a statement. I'm just using it as an example. But whatever you say, you're gonna gain fans and you're gonna lose fans. You know what I'm saying? So like,
and I think with something with this movement, I feel like didn't give a fuck if the user fans was posting about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if somebody said that like, oh, like I agree with the kneeling. Like look at Drew Brees.
Yeah,
everybody's split on it now because Drew Brees is saying, oh, I don't agree with kneeling, and all like the black people, and all like because the NFL is majority black. And NFL,
owners are majority white.
Yeah, so then you have people on the other side. There's like, oh no, Drew Brees can say why can't Drew Brees have an opinion? Da 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 da. And there's other people that are just like, yo, fuck Drew Brees. Da 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 da.
Did you see his Instagram post about what he said?
His apology though is
no, not the apology, not the apology.
What did he say on Instagram?
Yeah.
No, did he actively say that he was wrong about what he said about the flag?
And in fact, called out Donald Trump.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he just did call out Donald Trump. And
it's tough. And it's tough to take those like his reaction stuff genuine for what like how he's feeling though, because like you never.
It's hard to, but there's like a point. I'm not by any means defending what he said or did.
No. You get the one point. You got to believe what he's about.
Right. Mm. There's a point where you got to be like you got to understand that he knows he's wrong, and or he's learned from his mistakes and is trying to better himself.
That takes time.
Not for public image.
Yeah, when you say something dumb like that and just ignorant, like it takes time for people to gain that trust back because we got to see actions that you're really about your apology. You know what I mean? You really about what you said.
Because the other thing is like his teammates are black.
Yeah, well, you saw what Michael Obama said immediately. He was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, he's like, first of all, he don't know no better. And then he was like, I don't even care what you have to say anymore. Like he was obviously mad. So was Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was pissed off about it too. Cause like
Malcolm Jenkins was. Have you watched? I'm sure you've watched Malcolm.
yeah, I saw Jenkins because he made it. What he said is he made it about himself. He said, the flag, I never will stand for someone disrespecting the flag because my grandfather was in the military and World War II, whatever. First of all, act like no one else's grandfather served in the military. Like there's other people that live out there that serve in the military. For one, especially black people who had their grandfathers serve in the military and then come back to a country that hated them.
Didn't even fuck with them.
Exactly. So don't try to legitimize something because of what you think what it's not even about. Like, again, it has stated again that Kaepernick was kneeling for police brutality and injustice in America. Had nothing to do with the flag. But again, made it about the flag. And the NFL finally released a statement saying that they apologize for stifling like the players for peacefully protesting. Like because the players made a video about it. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah. So I think
and ruined Colin Kaepernick's career.
Yeah, ruined Colin.
After going to a Super Bowl 2 years prior.
Caps did go because he put his career on the line for saying I believe it. That's a lot of more people got to start doing. Like John Boyega, bro. John Boyega, I fuck with John Boyega. Do you see what he said?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He said, I don't know if I have a career. He was like going all on Twitter when it first happened, like saying "fuck all you racist white people," like like he didn't care. And then he was at a protest saying, "I don't even know if I have a fucking career after this. But I don't even care anymore. Like it's bigger than that."
Mm. Yeah, I think people who have a platform, I think you're doing yourself and you're doing the Black community a disservice by not using your voice. Mm-hmm. If you have that platform, but like like we said, like you're not obligated to speak out, but then again, it's like an unwritten rule. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get to that high of a stature, I feel like you're almost required to try to pull somebody else forward.
People are listening to you. Like
no one listens to me. Like
yeah, I guess the one again back to the social media thing. Like it's the reason why we say a lot of people. When I said like I can see people silent. Like I see you not talking, I see you posting all this other stuff about what's not going on. I can see your silence. And that's why I think a lot of people wanted people to post on social media to show that you're not just being complicit with like what's going on. And like I guess that's just the way society is working, and it sucks because like you don't have to do that. But
because like with me personally, like I checked in on all y'all like before like the whole Black Tuesday thing happened. Like I Blackout Tuesday. I like texted y'all and been like, "How are you guys feeling?" Like it's people didn't need to know that.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. But that's just that's the way that we approach it because we live in a digital social media age. You know what I mean? And to that, what you said what?
I said we live in the look at me, look what I'm doing age.
Yeah. I do like to say I appreciate everyone that did reach out, check in on how I'm doing, and I feel like you guys probably had that too. People reach out to you, checking how you're doing, and it means a lot. It's not like we were looking for that, but like it does. And if you're out there and you have a Black friend that you haven't checked on it yet, check in on them, see how they're doing.
But I was hesitant to because I personally it no shit, you guys are like in a different place, like it's like no kidding, you guys are hurting. The Black community's hurting, the world's hurting. So I felt like me just adding to that, like I'm sorry, doesn't really do much, but it does. Like
it does do a lot because like the mental, it's generational pain is one way to describe it. For the pain from our grandfathers to our parents to us, like just not even back like 400 years, let's say, for example. But like these last like 3 weeks have been just mentally exhausting, and just it weighs down on you a lot of times. Like seeing it over and over again, and just the current cycle, like the recurrent cycle of hashtag this name, and then nothing happens. And it gets tiring and it's tough. And I think the biggest thing for if you have Black friends out there, if you're white or not Black, is just to be like, look, I will never understand how it is to be you in America, but I see you and I want to help, and I want to see, like, I'm there for you. You know what I mean?
I'm going to use my privilege and my platform
Yeah.
Regardless of, but anything, I'm gonna, try to help the situation.
Mm-hmm. Anyone want to give any final words as we wrap this up?
I think I'm definitely on a better mental state to do this week than last week for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When you texted that, when you're like, I was like, yeah, I felt when you said I didn't feel like doing it today, I was like, I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I definitely was gonna get emotional if I started talking about it.
Yeah, I was really not in the right mind to speak about it, really.
Yeah, no, for sure. I fully understand.
Because at that point, I was just at that point, I had no words because I was just really numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't have time to really gather my thoughts about it. I was really just I don't know. I was just at a point where I was just stuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dan, you want to say anything?
I don't know. For all hey man. I don't know. I think for all the white allies that are out there, or it's easy. It's really easy to look on Google. It's really easy to read up on some of the things your friends are posting on their stories if they are vocal about it. It's easy to, and all you got to do is just kind of open your mind up to it. That's all it is.
And I hope all you guys out there who have spoken up and ones that reached out to me saying what can I do, how can I help, that have joined this movement and are really about it. I hope you just don't fade away after a couple weeks. This fight is just beginning. It's not just the end of this. We're still fighting. There's still more justice that needs to be served. There's still more change that needs to happen. So I really hope that you don't just fizzle out and go back to the norm of life, because there is no norm until justice is served and we are free. I mean, no one's free until we're all free.
Amen.
So keep fighting, keep raising awareness, keep signing petitions, keep protesting, keep calling officials, keep educating yourself, and stay safe out there too, for sure.
Sure.
Comment down below what you guys thought. Let us know if you have any suggestions for future topics you want us to cover. Follow us down below. I'll be putting the links to petitions in the description and
The link to that Google Doc that's in my Instagram bio.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, and then I'll put the link in and y'all just click on it. It takes 2 seconds to sign these petitions. Okay. What are you throwing up? What is this? What the fuck is it? Yo, Rob, remember that shit? Wait, throw it up, remember?
Oh, oh my god, bro! I don't even remember it. That was whack.
LSG. I don't even, bro. This is definitely a gang sign.
Oh, like this, right?
Yeah, it was LSG, bro. Issa came that shit.
I was like,
Banging.
Nah, we weren't banging. We had a little LSG versus DSG.
oh yeah, we did.
It was a little friendly. It was a little friendly back and forth. You know what I mean? We came together at the end with our joint performance at what's it called?
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Beatnik.
Yeah, we had a little performance.
Yeah, bro, that joint was fire.
I think my Beatnik performance is pretty good too.
Okay, your Beatnik.
I wish I was there. I really wish I was there, bro.
That shit was
fun.
The
video though.
Dan had his flow. Dan had his lettuce hair in the back with his busted cut right now. No, except picture that with no beard. No beard though. He just looked like a.
DJ, you have the video, right?
Huh?
You have the video, right?
Yeah, I have the video. I'll put it. I can put it in this. If I want.
Put that in the video, bro. They need to see that.
I can put it in.
They need to see that.
All right, but signing off. Thank y'all for watching.
All right. Deuces.